Once upon a time, in a bright and cheerful world where cartoon characters lived side by side, Peppa Pig had a big, exciting idea. She wanted to host a super secret talent show for all her friends, but there was one tiny problem. Peppa wasn't sure what her super secret talent was. She could jump in muddy puddles, of course, and snort like a piggy, but was that a talent show kind of talent? Feeling a little bit wobbly, she sat under a big oak tree, thinking very hard. Just then, who should come tumbling past but Tom and Jerry. Jerry was zipping along on a tiny skateboard made from a button, and Tom was right behind, trying to catch him with a butterfly net. They tumbled in a heap right at Peppa's trotters. Oof! Goodness me! Peppa giggled. Are you two all right? Tom shook his head dizzy, while Jerry dusted himself off and gave a little bow. Peppa explained her talent show trouble. I wanted to be a surprise, she said sadly, but I don't have a talent to surprise anyone with. Jerry's ears perked up. He scurried over to a nearby shed and came back dragging a long black magician's hat. Tom, seeing the hat, got an idea. He puffed out his chest and tried to pull a rabbit out of it, but instead, he pulled out his own tail. Ouch! Peppa giggled so hard she snorted. Jerry then jumped into the hat and popped out wearing a tiny top hat and holding a little cane. He started tap dancing on a mushroom. It was amazing. Peppa clapped her hands. That's it, magic, she squealed. Could you teach me? Tom and Jerry nodded enthusiastically. Their first lesson was the classic disappearing coin trick. Tom held up a shiny coin and, with a flick of his wrist, made it vanish. Peppa gasped. How did you do that? Jerry then revealed the secret. Tom had simply hidden the coin behind his ear. Peppa tried it herself. She held the coin, said the magic words, abracadabra, oink oink oink, and flicked her trotter. The coin flew through the air and landed with a plink in a nearby muddy puddle. Whoops! Maybe that trick was a bit too tricky. Next, they tried juggling. Tom grabbed 3 red apples and started tossing them in the air perfectly. It looked so easy. Peppa picked up 3 of her favorite toys, her teddy, a toy dinosaur, and a little red car. She threw them up, but they all came crashing down on her head. Oh dear, she said, rubbing her noggin. Jerry, trying to help, jumped onto Peppa's head and tried to catch them for her, but he just ended up tangled in her teddy bear's arms. This magic stuff was harder than it looked. Tom decided they needed a simpler approach. He pointed to a big empty cardboard box. He gestured for Jerry to get inside. Then, Tom tapped the box 3 times with a magic stick, which was really just a twig from the ground. He opened the box with a flourish, and it was empty. Jerry had vanished. Peppa's eyes went wide. Where did he go? She whispered. Suddenly, she felt a little tickle on her ear. It was Jerry. He had snuck out of a secret hole in the back of the box. Peppa laughed and laughed. That one is brilliant. I can do that. So, they practiced the disappearing box trick. Peppa's little brother, George, agreed to be her assistant. George climbed into the box. Dinosaur, grr, he said from inside. Peppa found a sparkly one in her toy box and tapped the cardboard. Hocus pocus, Peppa pocus, she declared. She opened the front flap. And George was gone. Ta-da, she shouted. Her friends, who had started to gather for the secret show, all gasped in amazement. Hooray for Peppa! Shouted Susie Sheep. But then, a little grr sound came from behind the curtains. George peeked out, holding his dinosaur. He'd found the secret door. Everyone cheered even louder. Now it was time for the grand finale. Tom and Jerry had set up their biggest trick yet. They wheeled out a giant cannon. Tom put on a helmet and bravely climbed inside. Jerry stood by the fuse with a tiny match. Peppa was the announcer. And now, she announced in her most important voice, for the amazing, the stupendous, the incredible flying cat. Jerry lit the fuse. Sizzle, sizzle, boom. The cannon fired, but instead of Tom, a huge shower of colorful confetti and flowers burst out, raining down on everyone. It was beautiful. And where was Tom? He peeked out from behind the cannon, covered in confetti and holding a bouquet of flowers, which he presented to Peppa. He had snuck out the back, just like Jerry and George had with the box. The crowd went wild. Danny Dog was barking with excitement, Rebecca Rabbit was wiggling her nose, and even Madame Gazelle gave a graceful clap. Peppa took a big bow with Tom, Jerry, and George. She realized her real talent wasn't just magic. It was making her friends happy and bringing everyone together for a wonderful, silly, surprising time. And that, she decided, was the best talent of all. From that day on, Peppa's super secret talent show was the most talked about event in town, all thanks to a little help from her new, very talented, and very funny friends Tom and Jerry. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more fun adventures.